Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Here we are, three deep. Hopefully everybody's got 3-0 in their leagues. Taking all this good advice that me and Mick are giving you, man. Um, so man, we've had some kind of weird, players go off this week. Hopefully they were on your teams or on your benches. One of them definitely wasn't on your starting roster. Let's just be real about that. But I mean, no point in beating around the bush. We'll just go ahead and get right into it. We've got a packed show for you tonight. We're going over some injuries that have happened that you're going to need to look for replacements for. We've had some upsets, I think, that we didn't see coming as far as wins losses. We've got one special returning player coming back. We've got your waiver ads. We're even going to help you out, break them out. Hey, who do we think you should add now? And if you got the room, go ahead and stash them on your bench. But if not, no big deal. They're just a cheap stash. We're going to introduce two new segments tonight. One segment, we're calling it the Kings of the Week or the King of the Week. And we're going to go through a couple of nominees and pick our King of the Week based on how dominant a performance they had. Our next segment is going to be our Fool's Gold segment. Okay. Pretty much it's, hey, they did good, but is this Fool's Gold? Is this valuable? Is it not valuable? Is this just a one-off thing that's never going to happen again? Like, what do we think that's going to be? And then a welcome back to relevancy segment because we've had some players that we all drafted pretty high that have not showed up at all for our rosters and our teams this year. So yeah, welcome in for that. With me as always, we got Big Mick Lipper over here. What's up, buddy?
Nothing much. Just we are in the full swing of fantasy now. Injuries are starting to happen. Bye weeks are coming up. Some players are starting to pop off, and the fantasy is here, and it's actually going to start getting interesting.
Like, this is real fantasy season. Like, draft the players you drafted now. Like, heck, Joe Burrow's not on your team no more, right?
Yep.
He may be coming back in December, maybe. So if you have an IR spot, you can put him there. But like, so you lost your top quarterback. You lost Joe Burrow.
Yep.
Um,
This is real fantasy season. This isn't week one or week two when you're getting these random pop offs and you have this random wide receiver being wide receiver one after the last 2 weeks. This is things are starting to come through. ADP is starting to change. And this is when the fantasy season and everything gets interesting with waiver wires and all that good stuff.
yeah, you're gonna have to hustle now. Like, you're gonna have to make some trades. Like, go to those teams that are starting 0-3, maybe 1-2, and they're kind of seeing like, dang, maybe I've had some injuries, I've lost some games, like it's not my season. Man, go hit them guys up and see, hey, I'll give you this, you give me that, and maybe it'll help you out. But sometimes you really got to sell it though. Like, sometimes there is some politic and some sales involved in it. Even if like their team's not that good, to say, hey, I'll give you these two receivers and you give me that one running back since you have extra running back, something like that. But I don't know. It's gonna take some politicking and stuff like that. But I think we can get it done, especially keeping it right here, tuned in to Kingmaker Sports with myself and Mick, getting you right. Let's start it off with the bad news first. I'm always a bad news first kind of guy because I feel like if you end on a good note, you're feeling better than you did at the beginning of the conversation. So let's go with injuries. So we got a guy you and I loved, Najee Harris, ruptured Achilles. He's out for the season, and it is Amarion Hampton season, baby. How are we feeling about Amarion Hampton? I mean, it's just him. There's no relevant running back behind him.
It is Omarion Hampton season. I did not think it would be here in week four. I thought it would take next year for it to actually be like Omarion Hampton RB1, only RB on the Chargers season, but it's here. If they don't add anybody, he's going to have the lion's share. Like, I don't think Harbaugh is going to be rolling out Haskins for as many touches as he was giving Najee. I know Kamani Vidal is now going to be promoted from the practice squad. So that's someone to pick up. Both of those guys, deep waivers in Dynasty, pick those guys up if they're available. They are probably available on your waiver wire.
Oh,
So deep rosters, worth a stash, worth a stash. But I do love Najee. I think he's actually a good dude. So whenever I see a good dude get hurt like that, it's even more painful. But I mean, that's what you get when you play these sports. And at the end of the day, he's made over $10 million, so he's gonna be doing just fine. But I will say, a person with his explosion, which wasn't really there to start with, I think his career might be over. He's going to become, I think, in my estimation, a backup plotter now with less explosion than even Nick Chubb has right now. So I think it's over for Najee. He's probably going to come in and fulfill some sort of veteran presence coming up in the next couple years, but I think his fantasy career is over.
Yeah, and that's pretty sad to think of. But somebody else who man is kind of on the downslide. Mike Evans had a little hamstring injury going on, so it was already like a big Emeka Ibuka season. So Godwin should be back at some point. Evans has got a hamstring. With some of these like faster, more powerful players, that hamstring is pretty critical, man. I mean, are we thinking just continue the trajectory of Emeka Ibuka, or we think Mike Evans would be okay? Have you heard anything?
I think from what I've heard, it's minor. It's not what he had last season, where he went out for a long stretch. He went out for about 4 or 5 games last season. I think it's only going to be about 2 or 3 games from what I've seen on Twitter. So I don't think it's as bad. But anytime you're picking up a hamstring injury this early in the season, and then him having to get back, probably wanting to rush to get back because Godwin's not going to be 100%. So I'm a little concerned for Mike Evans. I don't like it. If I have him right now in redraft or dynasty, I'm kind of growing concerned on him. But yeah, it's a Mekabuka season. It's already been since week 1. I think his targets are going to go up even more now. And Sterling Shepard is actually an interesting option now for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. That's looking really good for Emeka Ibuka. That's definitely pay dirt if you took him, because I mean, it did look like a crowded wide receiver room, but now it's looking like this dude is going to be good for a lot of years. Another guy out for the season. It was just a matter of when, and hopefully you listened here on Kingmaker Sports when we told you go buy up some Trey Benson, take him late. Here we are, week 3. James Conner. You hate to see it. It looks like that ankle's pretty jacked up. He's going to have surgery and be out for the season. I mean, Trey Benson, wheels up for me for Trey Benson. I mean, I think everybody can kind of agree on that. What do you think?
This just goes to show that you have to preach patience in dynasty, and you get good talent. Um, you want talent that is going to be behind. Uh, you want talent that's going to be behind good, or like people that are going to be injured. So James Conner always has some sort of injury history.
Yeah,
So I
always.
think a lot of people have been down on Trey Benson because Conner had that crazy good year last year and he did get injured. So a lot of people are down on Benson. Do you think you could have got him for a second in your dynasty leagues at the start of this year?
Oh no, not at all. Like it, not
You
an
don't think you could have bought him for a second?
um.
I don't
You
think
couldn't have
so.
bought him for a
Personally,
late
I don't
second.
think
I think you could have bought him for an early second easily. I think I think I've got him for a second in my league, but I think it was like an earlier second maybe. But
yeah.
no, if you were giving up an early second, you could have got him. But I think there was some people, there's still some truthers out there. But I think everybody expected Connor to get hurt last year, and then Benson would take over. You
Right.
know?
'Cause you drafted Benson in the late first round, early second round last year.
Yeah.
So, and he was talented. So I think that people that did draft him were still holding on hope. So this just goes to show you have to have conviction one way or the other. You have to either know that the guy's good, and Duval, Duval,
Got a Jags fan
Duval,
up in here.
they are overperforming, but I don't know. Liam, they've got a good defense right now. But back to Trey Benson, I think you need conviction on a player, and you need to hold that conviction, even if they're not getting some run. The signs were there early this year. He was getting more work in the passing game, and now wheels up for people because he's not available in redraft. Everyone's saying he's available on the waiver wire. maybe in very, very, very shallow leagues, but most
Only
people
about 50 to 54% of leagues. So people are catching on. So if he's available in your league, go scoop him up now. Like, you can come back to the show. Go get him now. Or wait till after the show.
I don't think he's available in many leagues that I'm in. Like all my leagues I'm in, he's not available. Not even in the shallow leagues. But kudos to people who drafted
Yeah.
him, have him on your bench because now he's firmly implanted as RB2.
Yeah, for sure. Um, another RB that we already had kind of a battle going to Tyrone Tracy, shoulder injury. And bro, it is Cam Scatabo season, man. He came out there with a dominant performance. Now that there's no Tyrone Tracy behind or to compete with, bro, what?
I know our
Where's
boy
Slayton
Slayton.
at, dude?
Slayton's sick right now, or else he'd be on, preaching the heavens for Scat Packs.
Scat pack, scat pack. Slayton loves some
He's
Scatabo.
He is the number one Scatterboot, and I love Scatterboot too. And this is again, you have to stick to your priors. Me and Justin, we had this conversation over text. I have zero Scatterboot shares this year, and I actually liked him more than most running backs coming out in rookie drafts. But I didn't draft him. I was trying to trade up to get to the guys like RJ Harvey and Caleb Johnson because they were getting a little more hype. Whereas I could have just stuck point, or even if we were kind of thinking, okay, you don't like RJ Harvey or Caleb Johnson, trade back, grab Scatterboot, and get extra capital. And always the cream rises to the top. We don't wish injuries for anybody, but when they happen, especially with a lighter running back like Tracy, I mean Scatterboot, he's a beast. He just has to change his number. I don't like what his number looks like. Do you like 44? And when he's
44 is that like old school hard nosed. It kind of fits Scatabo, I think,
it
because
fits him. It fits him. It's just ugly to me. I don't like the
I
number,
mean, because
but
he's gonna put that helmet in your chest every time.
no
A lot of
kidding.
people are like, "Oh, Peyton Hillis." I was like, "Easy." Like, first off, Scatabo can catch the ball way better than Peyton Hillis.
He's a
Um,
great receiver.
yeah, he's really good. To have that kind of size, though.
Hmm.
Um, so next, C.D. Lamb suffered a high ankle sprain, and he was by far like number one draft pick. He was your wide receiver one on your team, and now, do these high ankle sprains can linger? I mean, this may not just be a 2 week thing. This could turn into a month. I mean, these high ankle sprains are nasty. So, dude, George Pickens, Jake Ferguson. That's all I can say. I mean, the Cowboys are going to have to. They're going to miss CD for sure.
He's their offense. It pains me because I have a lot of CD bags this year. Because I mean, he looked like one of the best picks in the first round. He was slipping. So if you had like a 5-6 pick, he was there, and he's easily a top three wide receiver. So
Yeah,
I don't know. I just don't understand what Dallas is doing. I get that Javante fumbled, but you're not seeing Justin Jefferson get touches out of the backfield ever. You're not seeing Megatron ever get a handoff. So Dallas is just so I don't get it. Why would you put your star receiver? Did you see the play too? It looked like when he got the carry out of the backfield, it was going nowhere. He didn't even know how to attack a hole. He didn't even look like a running
why
back.
would they do that with CD Lamb? As good as Javante Williams has been running, and you just drafted Jadon Blue, you got Miles Sanders. What are you doing, man?
I don't understand it either. I guarantee you they are thinking the same thing and they're getting a lot of blowback for that. And they hopefully they learn their lesson. But yeah, again, I have a lot of CD bags, especially on my dynasty teams. I'm in first place right now. So it's you don't want to see a high ankle sprain. They are bad. I think
Yeah,
part of me, my gut tells me that he's going to be okay because he's like when you're like a freak status, like he is, kind of like Adrian Peterson, you might be able to
yeah,
come back and be fine. I think he's going to be okay. He'll be back in about 2 or 3 weeks. I would rather him rest until this thing's almost 100% instead of him trying to
yeah,
come back early because then you're putting him in your lineup and then you're only getting 75% production. That's almost worse than just having him sit out and putting in a wide receiver that you can fill in that you know is healthy, and then when he's healthy, you plug him back in. So hopefully you
yeah.
can just survive it. There's so many wide receivers this year though that I feel like it's gonna hurt your team, but it's not gonna kill your team if we get him back in about 3-4 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, so it'd definitely be worth mentioning. Maybe one of these guys we'll talk about later on in the show to go maybe replace a CD for a little while. So next we've got somebody coming back from suspension. That's Jordan Addison. So if you're hurting at receiver and you took Jordan Addison, look, you finally get to play him, and just in time too, because JJ McCarthy's not doing well, and Carson Wentz is there. So the Vikings could definitely use the help. So welcome back, Jordan Addison. So let's hop into waivers, man. Let's break these down into two different classes: our
Real
priority
quick,
class and our stash class.
Justin, are you starting Jordan Addison this week with them going to London? They have the London game.
So I'm not really comfortable with any Vikings outside of Justin Jefferson, only because I know they're gonna hyper target him. But the
I
only
know.
problem is I want to go Jordan Mason because I know that even though Jordan Addison coming back, they're still gonna be doubling Justin Jefferson, which they
Yes.
should. I mean, Justin Jefferson's all world, right?
Yes.
So I think you could flex him if you don't have any other options, but I'm more confident in Jordan Mason just from what I've seen so far. Um,
Jordan Addison or Tony Pollard flex.
I'm gonna go. Who do the Titans have this week?
It's not a favorable matchup. I know that, but that's one thing I am struggling with in a league. I'm either going to flex Jordan Addison or I have Tony Pollard for my last flex spot. So I'm struggling with that. I think the upside for Addison is going to be there if you want the upside, but Pollard has been getting 20 plus touches a game. And if he's not scoring, he's not giving you more
Well,
than about.
Pollard's playing. They're at Houston.
I know that's what I
That's
was thinking of. The Houston
Houston's
front.
defense can show up any day, and then you got Jordan Addison at the Steelers in
It's a tough
Dublin,
call, right?
Ireland. So that's going to be a tough one. I would go. I would go Addison on this one.
I think so. I think the upside is probably still there, especially with Jefferson getting caught or
Yeah.
doubled. Hopefully, you get Addison breaking free for one of his long touchdowns.
Yeah, because normally, like my theory is, I go like good starting running back over wide receiver, no matter what.
Right?
But Tony Pollard hasn't been good though,
No.
so and that's the only reason I say that. And this is the last week you're going to get of just like solo Tony Pollard because you were going to get Tajay Spears back in week 5.
Yep.
So yeah, to answer that, I'd go Jordan Addison in my flex between those two. So let's go our priority waiver here. Obvious one. Now these normally we go about 45% ownership, but it's Trey Benson, like you talked about. If he's available in your league, you put in a claim for Trey Benson. He's good out of the backfield. He's good. Like the dude is all around great. We knew that's what he was coming out of college. If you play Dynasty, you had rookie drafts. The kid can catch the ball. He can run the ball. He's awesome. I think he's gonna do better than James Conner. I've been waiting on this. I mean, not waiting on James Conner to get hurt. Obviously, we don't wish that on anybody. But I think Trey Benson's got to be one of the top ads, which is funny because I think Trey Benson was on our waiver ad show last week.
He was.
So, and he was right at that like 44, 45 mark, and now he's at 54. So, Trey Benson to me, like we got to start at the top on that. Go get him right now if he's available. Man, somebody else who's kind of way under the radar that's getting a lot of attention from a certain quarterback who's known for targeting his guys, and that's Calvin Austin getting the ball thrown to him by Aaron Rodgers. We know Aaron Rodgers likes his guys, and is Calvin Austin like the new Alan Lazard here?
Yeah, I picked him up in after week one in a lot of leagues because I saw that he was the number two receiver on that offense, and you're gonna take a number two wide receiver with Aaron Rodgers. So so I did pick him up. I'm not expecting much from him, but he does have big boom games, so he's worth a stash, especially when bye weeks come. You'll be able to put him in your flex and hope for a couple of touchdowns.
Yeah. Um, so somebody that's a rookie here. I got a rookie that I didn't think was gonna go off this early, but it's Alec Ailmaner from Tennessee. It's looking like he is Cam Ward's favorite target right now because Calvin Ridley's not doing anything for you.
Nope.
So
I mean,
is this somebody that you want to go add? I mean, he's only in 25%. He's only owned in 25% of Yahoo leagues.
yeah, he was one of the waiver pickups last week, and for some reason he's still available. So he's definitely probably the number one wide receiver, maybe aside from one other person you'll probably bring up. But Calvin Ridley, he looks like maybe he's not washed, but he doesn't have it with Cam Ward, and he's exhibiting some disgruntled behavior. So I think Elic Ilmenor is going to be the number one in that offense, and he's probably going to be like a good wide receiver three for the rest of the year. Honestly, he's looking good.
Yeah. Yeah. Ryan Tampa says, should I be trying to trade off neighbors? Their schedule is brutal next few weeks on top of everything going on with them. Philly twice in 3 weeks with Denver. That's tough, man. Philly twice and then Denver mix that. That's gonna be. I mean, Neighbors is really the only passing like deep mid pass option that they have right now. And with Jackson Dart, so this is actually a good question. It leads us into something we're going to talk about later on. Jackson Dart is officially going to be the starter week 4 for the Giants.
Yep.
But I don't think this helps the team at all. I think this is just going to be more of the same just because of the Giants. Malik Neighbors isn't really somebody I'm crazy about this year just because of the quarterback situation. What do you think?
I think it depends what you can get for him because his name and cash value is so high that if you can, it depends. So, Ryan, it depends on what your other lineup looks like. If you're weak at running back, but you have some wide receivers that could fill in, I don't mind using the cachet of Neighbors. But me personally, when if you drafted Neighbors, we knew that the Giants, for some reason, had one of the hardest schedules in the NFL. At least I knew it, and it was talked about by numerous podcasts. So you were drafting Neighbors with that exception, and I won't let one game deter me from trading him because he is one of the top three elite talents in the wide receiver position in the league, and he's going to get his targets no matter what. Now we don't know what Jackson Dart's going to bring, so let me put it this way: to answer your question, I'd be more willing to hold Neighbors because you know the targets are there, you know the talents there. It just depends what you can get for him. It depends what your other lineup and starters look for. If you can get an elite RB off of him, then yeah, go for it. But I'm not going out of my way to trade freaking Malik Neighbors because he is a dog.
Yeah, and what's crazy is he could come out and just have a monster game for you like that next time. Um, but I mean, money talks, right? Price is everything.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody's going to come and offer you some really good capital, I think you have to entertain that. But that's a tough one, man, because you took Malik Neighbors in the first or second round.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So you have to be getting that value back for him. You have to be getting a running back in that ilk or a second round running back that's doing good. Maybe you could trade him for Henry, whose value is low right now because of the fumbles. I don't think you're getting JT for him. No one's trading you JT for Neighbors. You're not going to pivot off Neighbors for another wide receiver. I wouldn't in my circumstance. So that's a hard one, but it just depends what you can get for him. Most of the time, I'm just going to be keeping Neighbors because he is an elite talent. And he's going to be getting 10 plus targets a game. But we don't know what Dart's going to do either. So it's interesting to see. We'll see. Time will tell.
yeah, for sure. Um, all right, so let's go into our deeper stashes here. So um, Braylon Allen is still at 45% owned in a lot of leagues. This is somebody that I feel like if you have the room. Now the stash section, that's for if you have room to go ahead and do that. So what's he saying? I'm 3-0. I have Allen, CMC, Cooks. I'm Allen. Is that Josh Allen? I'm assuming.
Yeah, Josh Allen, he's got CMC. That's probably James Cook.
Mike
Mike,
Evans, you're going to be out him for a while. If you just lost Evans, I definitely would not be getting rid of Malik Neighbors.
mm-mm.
More
Especially, yeah, you have CMC as your RB1
a weak at
uh,
wide receiver.
wide
Just
receiver.
got Addison back. Thoughts on him? That's good, but he's not going to be. He's not going to be like as good as Neighbors though. Like I
Yeah,
would
if you're
keep
weak on
Neighbors
wide
on.
receiver, you got to keep him, or else trade him for another person. But I'm not trading Neighbors for any wide receiver that's not. I mean, would you trade him for JSN?
Mm,
No,
that's a
maybe.
tough one because I feel like the quarterback play in Seattle's better, but
It is.
Neighbors just has more boom potential though.
I know. So
So that's the
that's
only
a hard
problem
one.
with that.
I think you're riding your boat, and you gotta stay with the sails, even if there's headwinds.
Yeah, for sure. So our stashes. We talked about Braylon Allen. So I think Braylon Allen's just one of the better handcuffs in the league, and Brees Hall hasn't been doing crap for you.
Yeah,
So
well, we just learned our lesson with James Conner and Trey Benson. This is the time where the season starts coming. There starts getting injuries. Bodies are breaking down because they're playing football games against these freaking grown men that run 4.3s, tackling them. So you want to start stashing these high priority RBs because if you had Trey Benson and you're 2-1 or 1-2 right now, you're automatically your team already just freaking leveled up with Trey Benson because now you're plugging him in as a flex where he wasn't even starting, and now you're taking a starter that probably wasn't doing as good when you drafted him and putting him in. So it's a good lesson right now. Braylon Allen, if Brees goes down, you got to take him, and then there's some other stashes that I have that so basically, you're just looking for these RBs that are in a good situation, like Trey Benson was in. That if the starter goes down in front of them, you automatically are plugging them in, and your
yeah.
lineup is getting better.
Well, let's hear him. What you got? Who's the first one up?
I got DJ Giddens. I see him dropped in a lot of leagues. He's available in almost every league now. He
Yeah.
was and he was drafted in the initial draft, and everyone has dropped him. And it's shown that he is the backup to JT, and JT's getting what 25 touches a game.
Yeah,
So
he's getting a lot.
I don't think Giddens is as elite a prospect as Benson, but he is a legit player. So if you can stash him because if Taylor goes down, Giddens is going into your starting lineup just as Trey Benson has.
And he looks good when he gets the carries. Man, he's just like bouncing off everybody, and that's what you want at the running back position. I mean, he's hard to tackle. So
Exactly.
um,
Another one's Brian Robinson. I'm seeing Brian Robinson drop because CMC is a bell cow and getting run. So he's available. He's probably one of the biggest boom stashes along with
mhm.
Blake Corum. I brought him up last week. I'm just looking for these running backs that are on waivers that if I have a wide receiver on my bench in the redrafts that I know I'm not going to play, that's not going to enter my starting lineup over other 4 or 5 wide receivers I have in my team, you should drop that wide receiver and pick up the high upside running backs that are on
Oh
waivers.
yeah, yeah, high upside running back's invaluable. I mean, what
Mhm.
CMC is another situation like James Conner. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when he's going to get hurt and go down. And then
Mhm.
boom, now you've got a guy that was a decent starting running back last year for what, nothing. You got him on waivers for free. You didn't have to waste draft capital or anything on him.
Yep.
Then if you're in dynasty, once CMC goes down, maybe you could sell him high if you're not competing. Like sell him high to the CMC owner,
You could
while
sell
they're.
Trey Benson for a first right now if you have Trey Benson. Easy.
I mean,
There's contenders that are willing to give up their first round pick for Trey Benson right now. I've seen it already happen.
I'll take that advice. I
I'm
got
I'm
Trey Benson in a dynasty league.
I'm telling you, you could probably get a
I don't know.
contender.
Sometimes the league can be a little tough though. Like
If
guys don't want to be they don't want to give up those first rounders. But the problem is what's that first rounder worth if you didn't spend it and you lost your league because you were one wide receiver short or one running back short or one quarterback short in a super flex league? Like what you should have just spent the first and got the player. Don't wait and like maybe be like Jerry Jones. Maybe this will turn into a Pro Bowler. Maybe this pick will be a good player. Like, bro, I remember taking N'Keal Harry third overall. He was a massive prospect.
yeah,
Horrible.
yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah, Trey Benson's worth a first right now. He is because Connor is old. He just had a major foot injury. He's out all season, And Trey Benson's going to be likely the starter come next year at the start of the season. So Trey
Yeah.
Benson is easily worth a first rounder right now. If I had any first rounders left, I would offer him. I might, you know what? I might try that in the league right now. We'll see. Who's got Benson in mine and your single quarterback league? You?
This guy, this guy right
Let's
here. You
let's
might see
talk,
a
buddy.
trade live on the show right now.
Let's make a deal.
Let's
I'm
do
just
it.
kidding. Let's get back to the show.
All
We
right,
can.
so I think Ollie Gordon is another good deep stash right here
That's
on
a great one.
waivers. Just because, like Ollie Gordon, I mean, dude was a Doak Walker Award winner not too long ago. Suffered and fell because Oklahoma State was just garbage last year, and he looked bad. But dude's only owning 31% of Yahoo leagues, so he's attainable. He's out there. And dude, if Achan goes down, or if not, like even Ollie's starting to get, he got a touchdown on season. He's starting to get some add into the offense. I don't think this is a bad ad if you have it. I'm not saying
Yeah.
he's priority level right now by any means, but you definitely need to get him on your roster if you have the space. I mean, heck, if you got James Conner right now, or if you have an IR spot for somebody, Joe Burrow like me, like who might be back December, move him to your IR and boom, add Ollie Gordon. I mean, that's free money right there.
I had James Conner in 3 redraft leagues, and he was my RB2 in 2 of them, and my flex in one of them. And I'm hurting now. I'm hurting, so I need to replace that somehow. And Ollie Gordon, that's a great one, Justin. Ollie Gordon has standalone value, and then if Achan goes down, he's taking over the Trey Benson like value chart. So I love that one. That's a great one.
Awesome. Thank you. My last stash, I'll keep it quick. I think Luther Burden.
Yeah.
It's looking like he's getting more and more involved in the offense. Now, Odunze's still the guy. Like, I'm not trying to say here Luther Burden's going to take over the offense, but I think that they drafted him knowing like they're going to try and use him as a Swiss Army knife because he is that type of player. I don't know. What do you think about Luther Burden as a kind of a deep stash right now on waivers?
He's a deep stash. I think he's a very deep stash. Me personally, if you have the roster room, I would add him, but you're going to have to be holding him for probably 3 or 4 weeks. You're going to hope you need DJ Moore to go down or get traded for him to be relevant this year. So I would be prioritizing the RBs that we mentioned before him. But if the RBs are gone and Luther Burton is still on the waiver wire, and you go check tomorrow morning after waivers clear, and you see that people spent up for these running backs and you didn't get them on your claims, then yes, I would add Luther Burton to the back end of my roster.
Yeah, for sure.
One more
What do we
person.
got?
What's this?
Said, should I be starting David Montgomery over DJ Moore in the flex? How about Addison over DJ Moore? I don't know. What do you think? Because David Montgomery did just have a massive game.
Who are the Lions playing? When you look that up, I'll talk this through while you're looking that up. Let's
Okay.
see. I would feel well, DJ Moore had a good game, but he's not really impressing me. He's going to be your boom bust guy because Adunze is the guy in that offense. So I'm reluctantly starting DJ Moore, but I will start him if I have to. I'd probably start DJ Moore over Addison as of right now because of the for sure time he's been on the field. The chemistry's there with the quarterback. So I would start DJ Moore over Addison. If I have to start Addison, if I'm in a pinch, I'll start him. But if I have better options ahead of him, I'll start those guys. Who's
Yeah.
Montgomery? Who's
So the Lions are playing at home against the Browns. So
Hmm.
I'm gonna go David Montgomery here.
Yeah, I mean, I think David Montgomery got off to a slow start, but I think it just reassured that last game it was on a primetime game, so you're watching. He still got it. He still looks good. I think Gibbs is getting more of the lion's share like we expected him to get this year. So David Montgomery has taken a little bit of a back seat, and if he didn't bust off those long runs, he wouldn't have had a good game. But I would be starting David Montgomery over both of those guys just for the for sure touches and the touchdown upside he offers every single week with that offense.
Yeah. Awesome question. Thank you for that. All right, so that's gonna do it for our deep stashes here. let's move on to our King of the Week candidates. All right. We've had some massive performances. We talked about the at the top of the show somebody that not a lot of people know out there or even like know how to look them up on their waivers, but it's going to be Trey Tucker as our first candidate. Trey Tucker is a receiver for the Raiders who went 8 for 9 of his targets, 145 yards with 3 touchdowns. This kid came out of nowhere, 145 yards, 3 touchdowns. Is he worthy to be on our King of the Week candidate?
Yes, he's worthy because that man, I'm telling you, like if you had him in best ball, he paid off his best ball draft position just by that one game. He got you 40, 50 points, and that's going into your lineup, and that's automatically paying off his ADP. So he is, I think my question or my answer to that question is yes, he paid off in best ball, but he did not pay off in redraft or dynasty because you probably were not starting him.
Yeah. Next candidate is one Jonathan Taylor, 17 carries, 102 on the ground, and 3 touchdowns. But he also went 3 for 4 through the air with only 16 yards, no touchdowns through the air. But 3 touchdowns on the ground, man. That's you can't look away from that. I mean, the 102 yards is, I mean, that's nothing for a guy like Jonathan Taylor. But the 3 touchdowns, I mean, is he candidate worthy or no?
That's probably no matter who you list, that's going to be my king of the week because he won me two separate matchups single-handedly from that performance, and he's in your starting lineup. So yeah, when you get a boom week like that, he's winning you your week, and that is irreplaceable.
Yeah, for sure. Next candidate, we just talked about him, and that's David Montgomery. Dude, 12 carries, 151 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Woohoo!
That
Yes,
dude put up some numbers for you.
yes, and he was. It was unexpected because everyone was low on him because he didn't have good weeks prior, but he was probably still in your starting lineup or your flex. So yes, definitely a contender, but
Yeah,
not.
after this, you're definitely flexing him,
Yeah,
especially when the Browns come to town. I mean,
yeah,
outside of Miles Garrett, there's not much to maybe Denzel Ward, but there's not much to be afraid of over there.
yeah.
Um, last but not least, King of the Week candidate is one, as Slayton likes to say, Mr. Scat Pat, Cam Scatabo. He got you 24 points. He got 10 carries, 60 yards, and 1 powerful touchdown. But through the air, I think is what's really impressive about this kid is he caught 6 of 8 targets for 61 yards.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, damn.
He is.
He did well for you.
He's a monster, and it's not. He is not just a 1-2 down thumper in between the tackles. He's going to get you your catches and your yardage, and
This is a 3 down back right here.
he's a 3 down back. He is not CMC, but he is CMC in terms of rushing and catching the ball and being
Yeah.
all around and being there. So he and Tyrone Tracy is out 2 to 4 weeks. Scattaboo, they're going to be leaning on him because Jackson Dart is now the starter, and they're going to take it easy on their starting rookie. So they're going to be leaning heavily on Scattaboo.
Yep. So our first King of the Week is Jonathan Taylor. I mean, I've only got a little bit of bias, just a little bit, but after that kind of performance, you got to give it to Jonathan Taylor. So, Jonathan Taylor, congratulations on being Kingmaker Sports Week 3 King of the Week. Um, Now to the section that everybody wants to talk about: starts and sits. So we've got. What's funny is okay. So the Saints are by far the worst team in the NFL. They're slated to have the first overall pick. I'm starting all my Bills players, all of them, like
Yep.
Khalil Shakir, Keon Coleman, James Cook. If you're not starting Josh Allen, what are you even doing? Like, just give away your money. But I'm starting all my Bills players against the Saints. I mean, is there anyone that you'd probably like hold off or what?
No, I mean, when you get a matchup like this, my only concern is maybe the score is going to get run up and it's going to get out of hand. So it's probably looking like a James Cook week again. He's going to get probably 15, 20 plus carries. So maybe I will pause on the pass catchers because they won't pass so much and they'll just try to run the clock out. That's my only hesitation. But when you get a game like this and you get a weak defense, you're firing them all up and just hoping for the best.
My next start is going to be I'm going to go Jamison Williams against the Browns because Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to be shadowed by Denzel Ward, who's one of the best cornerbacks in the league. Not that I think he's shut down or anything like that, but I think it's going to create enough of a hesitation. But the Lions have so many weapons. All right. It's not like they have to use St. Brown. I mean, you got Jamison Williams, you got Sam Laporta, and dude, even the backup tight end Brock Wright looks good. So, I mean, come on. And we already talked about the double-headed monster they got in the backfield, Jameer Gibbs and David Montgomery. But my big start for that game is going to be Jamison Williams, only because I feel like St. Brown, with Denzel Ward covering him.
I don't hate it because when you get shit show teams like this, like the Browns, sorry, Browns fans, but the
I think
way
they
James,
know.
I know they know, but the way Jamison Williams is going to get it is he's going to get a broken play and he's going to get a 60, 70-yard splash touchdown. And you hope just with these coach teams or these disgruntled teams that it'll break right and he'll break his long one like he normally does.
Yeah. My next one here that I have, I'm going to go Quentin Johnson versus the Giants. We see the Giants are a dumpster fire here. Lad McConkey is going to get his. We know that. He's that typical like Wes Welker kind of receiver. Not because he's white, just because he runs short routes. But dude, QJ's been on fire, man. Quentin Johnson for the Chargers. I don't know. Do you think you can trust Quentin Johnson against the Giants?
Yes, you have to be starting Quentin Johnston every week now. He's a weekly start. I mean, he showed it. Even through the first 3 games, Browns D is good. You know what, Pooner?
Myles Garrett's good.
Miles
Denzel
Garrett's
Ward's good.
Browns D is decent. That's what only gives me a little pause. They're not a total dumpster fire, but I mean, it's the Browns in general, so they're going to lose. But didn't they? They just beat the Packers, Justin. They just beat the Packers.
They did. Or did the Packers just really lose that game?
The Packers didn't show up. They thought they were the best team in the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was a trap game. This is your classic trap game.
LaFleur said that. LaFleur said that. Shut down Burrow and the Packers. I mean, he's kind of right on that. Maybe we should, Pooner, maybe you're right. Maybe we're getting a little over our skis. We always got to put ourselves in someone else's shoes and think about this. Maybe we got to pump the brakes.
Quinshon Judkins is starting to look good. So could the Browns be a late season team?
Hey, rest of season, Genty or Junkins?
Oh, Judkins. Genty looks bad. But I don't think that's all Genty, though. I think that's more the offensive line and just the offense sucks. Like, I'm not a Geno Smith fan. I know, like, Slayton's been big on him because he's been winning a lot of money from him, but taking the unders. But I just don't think the Raiders are a good offense right now.
No, same. I mean, he in terms of analytics, he's being hit behind the line of scrimmage most of any running back right now in the NFL. And as much as we clown on the Browns, Junkins looks like a really good runner right now. I hate to say it. He even looks better than Hampton running the ball right now with limited time in training camp. So Junkins is looking pretty promising. I hate to say it because I was kind of fading Junkins, and I think I'm going to be a little worried on that.
Yeah, if you took Junkins late in your drafts, in your redrafts, because obviously you didn't take him late in rookie drafts. That's stupid. He went first round. But if you took him late in redrafts, you're feeling pretty good right now.
Yes.
But yeah, back to the original one. You want to play QJ this week against the Giants. The Giants just are horrible at everything. Next, I'm gonna go Devon Achane versus the Jets, because I don't think this is the same Jets defense that they were before. I think the Jets are another situation like the Giants. Like, there's no good football team in the city of New York. Well, I guess it's New Jersey, right? But the Bills are definitely the team in the state of New York and New Jersey. So I'm gonna go Achane. I think Achane's gonna have a massive game versus the Jets.
I think this is a great call by you, and I wouldn't have thought of this unless it was brought to my attention. So hats off to you, sir, because the Dolphins have been in shitty games, shitty environments. We all know Achan is matchup proof. He's going to either run the ball when they're up or he's going to get past the ball when they're down. But now this kind of gives Miami more of a chance to be in scoring position because the Jets are not as good of a team as what they have been playing. So if you're looking for touchdown upside, I think Achan has touchdown upside along with his big workload he's already been having this season.
So let's transition over to our sits, guys that we don't think that are going to do as good. We're not saying they're going to do bad. We just don't think they're going to do as good as their projection. So we talked about if Jamison Williams is a start because Amon-Ra St. Brown is facing Denzel Ward, then I'm going to say Amon-Ra St. Brown is a sit because he's facing Denzel Ward, not because he's not good. Don't hear what I'm not saying, but I'm sitting him because he's not going to produce his projection. But if you probably have to start him, and I get that because you probably took him in the first round. If you got him in the second round, that's amazing. I don't know how you pulled that off, but I'm gonna temper expectations on Amon-Ra St. Brown this week. Am I crazy?
I know. I don't think that's a bad call. I think you're starting Amon-Ra St. Brown. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But yeah, whenever you get a wide receiver going up against a elite cornerback, most of the time the cornerback wins the matchups on defense. So you can temper expectations. My only rebuttal to that is it depends on if they make Ward shadow Amon-Ra because Amon-Ra works out of the slot. He works out of the queen chess piece. He works out of the Z. He moves all over. So it just depends, which I do think the Browns will have him shadow. I think Ward does shadow the best receiver. He's not just lined up on the X receiver.
Yeah, I mean, if he's in our promo video, you know he's legit.
Yeah.
So we got Calvin Ridley versus Derek Stingley. I'm gonna not play Calvin Ridley. One, because he's been bad so far.
Ugh.
Two, I mean Derek Stingley is the best corner in the league. So I'm not playing Calvin Ridley, and I don't think anybody out there should either. Especially with Alec Ayomanor kind of stepping up. You got Chigakonkwo, and then you got Gunnar Helm taking targets away. So I'm putting Calvin Ridley's ass on the bench if he's not already.
Calvin Ridley, he is such a disappointment this year, and I know better. I specifically myself, I know better. There's players that will show themselves and you know they're good, or they show up and they're good, and then you think maybe the light's turning. Another prime example is Jerry Jeudy. Like, I know better, and I drafted some of these guys this year, buying into the hype, listening to other guys on the podcast. Man, Calvin Ridley with Cam Ward, he's going to be electric this year. He's the only target. But at the end of the day, Calvin Ridley is Calvin Ridley, and he's not consistent. Same with Jerry Jeudy. And we are drafting these guys because they had flashes last year. Jerry Judy's always had flashes, but he's never been consistent. Yeah. But we're still drafting these guys, especially with Ridley going up against Stingley. I'm honestly out on Ridley until I see it for like 2 games in a row, or he's a must. He's like, if I have to start him, okay, I hope he's going to have a boom week. But right now,
and Cam Ward's got no time to throw.
No.
I mean, he was like, I think on this AFC South show, we were talking about was like 7 sacks and like 7 QB hits, 4 sacks.
Yep.
So, and like 8 tackle for losses. So like their offensive line just letting anybody through. I mean, it's a rotating gate over there. So we kind of got an LSU matchup here that I'm not crazy about. And it'd be different if Joe Burrow was healthy and throwing the ball. But we got Jake Browning taking snaps, and I'm going to sit Jamar Chase versus Patrick Surtain. They both know each other very well, and I'm not crazy about this, actually. I don't think this is going to be a Jamar Chase game.
Well, I'm not sitting Chase. Let's put it that way.
No.
I
should have said temper expectation.
Yes, you guys need to understand that we're just listing matchups and we're saying temper expectations on these stars that you think are going to have good weeks when they have elite cornerbacks playing against them. And then Jamar Chase does have the double whammy. He's got Burrow out and he's going against Surtain, who's, I think, the best cornerback in the NFL.
Yeah. So temper expectations there. If you possibly have another option, which I mean, Chase was he was 101 in a lot of redrafts. So if you have another option, I don't. Maybe you took QJ late or something, but you're not benching Chase.
Hopefully it's a T Higgins game then. Hopefully he gets back on track because
I think it is.
He's been a big disappointment this year too.
This may be a good game to set up Chase as a decoy to get Higgins Higgins his numbers.
Real quick, I got one question while we're on that topic. What are you doing with Chase Brown?
Man, so that's tricky. I think the Bengals right now are trying to figure out what to do with Chase Brown. Only because when Joe Burrow's back there, Chase Brown's got all day to run because they're respecting the passing game. But now with Jake Browning, you don't really have to respect the passing game. You can play your standard defense and double Jamar Chase if you want. Because, I mean, Chase Brown's good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's not good, but he's not like a JT or Saquon or Derrick Henry level, you know. If I got Chase Brown, I mean, I probably took him high enough where I have to start him.
Yeah.
But he said trade him for Scatabo. I don't know if I'm doing that, but that's not a crazy idea.
There you go.
Because Scatabo's the number one there. He's going to get it. That offense sucks in New York. So,
well,
I don't know.
That's why I bring it up, and that's why I'm glad we have comments, because that's a avenue that you might be able to pursue. You might be looking to.
You get Scatabo Plus in Dynasty or Scatabo Plus in Redraft.
I don't know, man. I don't think I am trading Scatabo for Chase Brown right now in Dynasty. Would you?
I mean, I wouldn't, but there's somebody out there who's like, "Oh, Chase Brown, he was a second-round pick. Like, I want him."
Right.
Because they may be thinking, "Oh, Scatabo is like, this is just a flash in the pan." If you find that person, take advantage of that. But if you know what you got, then you're probably going to keep Scatabo because it's the Bengals aren't centered around Chase Brown.
No.
Like, that offense runs through Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think with Jake Browning they're going to try and change that philosophy very much. But if I'm a defense, I'm not worried about the passing game so much anymore, so I could shut down Chase Brown. Scatabo might be the play there, Poon.
Would you trade Chase Brown for the Jordan Mason?
As it sits today, yes.
Yeah, see,
and I try and get more than Jordan Mason if I can.
That's where we're at, though. So we are in full panic mode with Chase Brown.
Jordan Mason went from like borderline irrelevant to like starter.
Yeah.
So that's crazy. All right, so let's move over to our Fool's Gold section. All right, this is going to be where we're going to talk about players that had a monster week, but is that all it was? Was it a spoof, kind of like Russell Wilson had last week with his 400 plus yards and all that? That was Fool's Gold. You know, that was last week's Fool's Gold. But this week we've got Mark Andrews. Is Mark Andrews Fool's Gold? He hasn't done jack squat all season, but then he comes out and puts in week 1, he's got 1.5. Week 2, he's got 1.4. And then 27.1 in some formats, catching 6 for 6, 91 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Is this Fool's Gold?
No, not with me.
You think this is real?
I think this is real. I think he's not Mark Andrews of old, 3-4 years ago, where he was the number one target. I think Zay Flowers has solidified himself as the number one target. But on games like this last week or just recently, where Zay Flowers goes missing, which he tends to do once in a while, it's going to be Mark Andrews. But then again, you do have Isaiah Likely very, very close to being starting or coming and starting and for the Ravens. So I think Mark Andrews is what he is. I don't think he's volume based anymore. I think you're hoping he catches a touchdown with Lamar. He throws 3 touchdowns a game. So the probability that Mark Andrews is going to catch a touchdown is probably higher than most tight ends right now in the tight end landscape. So, I mean, I don't hate it, but it just depends on your other options.
All right. So we have a question from Derek. Would you rather start Caleb Williams or Brock Purdy this week?
Who do Okay, well, can you look up the starters while I talk this out?
Okay.
Let's see. So Purdy's coming back from injury. We know that Ricky Pearsall is taking a step forward. Kittle's out. And Juwan Jennings, we don't know if he is a go or not. So it all depends on the matchup. But for me, I picked up Caleb, as I said on this podcast last week. I picked him up in 3 separate redraft leagues, and I started him in 2, and then I freaking started Dak instead of Caleb in another league, and I hated it because I lost the damn matchup because I just wanted to play the odds and have different starters from each game. I don't like being invested in one person, but
Yeah.
gosh damn it, Caleb is good for fantasy right now. He's dog shit when it comes to being consistent, but his rushing floor, and it looks like he's going to be throwing 1 or 2 touchdowns a game. I don't know. Who are they starting
Well,
against?
and Caleb's playing. They're at Las Vegas, so they're in a dome.
Hmm.
They're playing a Las Vegas team that's not that great. I mean, outside of Max Crosby,
Hmm.
and the 49ers are at home against Jacksonville. So,
I'm
um,
starting Caleb.
so I'm with you. I'm starting Caleb Williams. I picked him up, and then on the team that I just lost Joe Burrow. So now I'm streaming quarterbacks. I streamed Daniel Jones last week, and this week I'm going to stream Caleb Williams. Um, so we got another question here from Donovan. Do you think Genty for Garrett Wilson is good? I have Judkins, Kyron, Scatabo, and Joe Mixon, who you'll be getting back soon. All right. So do you think Genty for Garrett Wilson is good?
Donovan,
I
while we talk through this, who are your wide receivers? Drop that in the comment right now.
Yeah, that's a good question. Garrett Wilson's actually been doing pretty decent, while Genty has not been doing good at all. Judkins, I bet you're really excited to have Judkins coming through with Scatabo. I think just Judkins and Scatabo right there, like you can run those two for now, which is crazy to say. Like both these guys are rookies, and they're going to be your RB1, RB2 on your team potentially. I mean, you definitely love the rookies, brother. You got Scatabo, Judkins, and I think you have Genty on your team. I'm not
He
sure.
wants Genty.
Oh, he wants
Oh,
Genty.
no, he does have Genty. You're right.
So he said he's got Amon Ra, Igbuka, Ridley, and Jamison Williams, and he's got Rasheed Rice too.
Oh, man. Whoops.
So he's got Rasheed Rice coming back in a couple weeks. He has Genty, he said. So he's the
Who,
Genty owner. He was trying to get Garrett Wilson. So
who are his
if
wide
you have
receivers
Judkins and
again?
Scattab, what's that?
Who are his wide receivers again? Can you put
His
that
wide
back?
receivers are Amon Ra, Igbuka, Calvin Ridley, and Jamison Williams, and Rasheed Rice. So
Mm.
he's trying to get Garrett Wilson.
Hmm. Um,
I would do this trade. Me personally, I'd do it. If you believe in Judkins and Scatabo, which I do, and Igbuka is doing Igbuka stuff right now. Amon Ra, you got your alpha. Ridley is just not good right now, and Jameson's gonna have his boom weeks. But you got Rasheed Rice coming back in week
yes,
7.
that's big. That's big right there. Damn, that one, Donovan. That one is very, very close because I think Genty is going to get better as the year goes on. I have full confidence in that we can expect what he's provided. It's going to get better. I trust me on that. Um,
And do we think Joe Mixon, because he's got Joe Mixon too?
I'm
Do
on
we
that
think he's
Mixon.
going to mix into that offense?
No, I'm not. I'm not even. I'm for this comment right here. I'm just taking away that he only has Junkins, Kyron, and Scattaboo. So, man, I would probably I'd probably hold on to Genty because he has Rasheed Rice coming back. That is a big thing.
Yeah,
Right now, from what I've seen in redraft, it's easier to pick up a streamable wide receiver than it is to have running backs. Running back right now on the waiver wire is a wasteland.
it's
So
very thin. Yeah,
if one of Junkins, Kyron, or Scadaboo go down, then you're down to only having two running backs if you trade away Genty. So
yeah. If you believe Joe Mixon is good, then I say do the deal. Mick says no, don't do the deal because for good reason. Like running backs are pretty scarce on the waiver wire. We've got another question from Derek. Number one waiver pick, 6-man league. All right. Would you pick up Judkins, Trey Benson, or a wide receiver like Pittman Jr., Quentin Johnston, or Jordan Addison?
damn.
6-man league. So, I mean, every team's stacked here. Um, damn,
Who's
dude.
got your biggest upside here? Who has the biggest upside out of those six names? Not Pittman. I'm taking Johnson over
It,
Pittman. I'm taking
upside, for me, it's either going to be Johnston or Benson.
man.
But
Yeah,
Judkins looks so good.
I think it's QJ over Pittman and Addison, so you could rule those two out. And then for running back, it's either Judkins or Benson. So it's Judkins, Benson, or QJ.
Yeah.
Um, Derek, it depends. Again, I always refer to this. Who are the other starters? Is there more upside for? Do you have less upside in your wide receivers? If that were the case, I'd pick up Quentin. If you have less upside in your running backs, I would pick up either Junkins or Benson. I don't think you could go wrong in either Junkins or Benson. I think they're pretty close for my estimation for the rest of the year.
Yeah. Man, and my thing is like you go good running back over wide receiver, but we're just now going to get our first game of Trey Benson to see what it's going to be like when he's got the ball. But Quentin Quinshon Judkins, um, man, he looks good, but it's the Browns, and he could be game scripted out, and it could, and man, because they're going to be down a lot of games this year.
I know. It depends, Derek. It depends on where you need upside. If you need upside at wide receiver, you go QJ. And if you need upside at running back, it's pick your poison. Who do you like better, Junkins or Benson? Only you can answer that question.
I think if it's a PPR league, I'm going to go Benson.
Yes. But I kind of can see DeMarcado working in now as the pass catcher. I can kind of see him being a little bit of a thorn where Quinshon looks like he's taken over the lion's share of that backfield. The only thing is we don't know how this Cardinals backfield is going to shake out. This is all new, and we kind of have a 2-game sample now of Junkins being the lead dog and looking good while
Looking
doing it.
good, yeah. So yeah, so we're saying if you need a running back, go Judkins. If you need a wide receiver, go Johnston.
Yeah,
Hopefully that helps you. But I mean, if you're going off pure production, what you've seen already, Johnston, but running backs are hard to find. Just like we talked about with Donovan and his question.
yeah.
So hopefully that helps you out, Derek. That's awesome, man. Thank you. So next on the docket is our welcome back section. This is welcome back to relevancy. You've been gone. We miss you. Here you are. We just talked about Mark Andrews putting up dog crap numbers. Week 1 was 1.5, week 2, 1.4, and then boom, he's back, 27.1. This is the Mark Andrews everybody knows and loves, catching, 6 for 6, 91, and 2 touchdowns. So he's our first welcome back candidate of the year. So, Mark Andrews, welcome back. Thank you.
Welcome back, Big Mark. I have a soft spot for Big Mark. I like him.
And
I do.
our
I didn't start him last week though, which pisses me off. I put him on the bench, and then I put in. I think I started Njoku over him, and then sure as shit.
Well, but he didn't give you much reason though. After not even breaking two
I know
points in 2 weeks, it was kind of hard to say, like, man, like, do I not? Like, I don't know.
that's fantasy.
Um, that is definitely fantasy. He was good for best ball, I guess.
Yep.
But AJ Brown is our second welcome back candidate.
There you go.
AJ Brown, week 1.8, pissed. Week 2, 7.7, pissed. Week 3, welcome back with a big 25.9. He caught. The only thing that sucks though is he had 10 targets, but he only caught 6 of them. But good thing is though they were for 109 yards, and one of them was for a touchdown, so that helped. I think if he didn't get that touchdown, it wouldn't be so great. But he did. This is the world we live in. And if you're in a league where you got bonus points for over 100 yards, that helps you out too. But yeah, AJ Brown, somebody who showed like clear, like aggravation that he wasn't getting targeted, he wasn't getting the ball, and I think this is going to keep going. They see, hey Derek, you're welcome, buddy. Tell your friends, we'll see y'all. We'll see you again, man. Keep coming back. Yeah, I think this is good for AJ Brown, man. He needed. I mean, what they say, a closed mouth don't get fed.
Yep.
Squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Yep.
He showed his frustration, said he wasn't happy, and look, here we are.
I think my only pause is, are they going to revert back to their shit offense that they've been doing unless they're forced to throw the ball? Because the Rams, if you know, went up by 3 scores, and then it kind of said, oh, crap, the Eagles, we have to actually start passing the ball. So would you trade, before we get to this next question, are you keeping A.J. Brown in your starting lineup because you drafted him in the second round in redraft, or are you taking away this big game and trying to pivot off him for like Courtland Sutton or someone that maybe is a little more consistent? Because I think the Eagles are going to revert back to their horseshit offense until they're pushed in games like this, until they're down. If they're not down, they're not going to force feed Devontae Smith or A.J. Brown at all.
This was definitely probably game script. You're right. Like riding Saquon Barkley, knowing that he's got limited time. Ooh, that's a tough one. I mean, let's look and James, give us a second. We'll get to your question, buddy. So the Eagles are playing Tampa. Ooh.
I think
this might be a safe play. Because this could be a shootout.
Exactly. So like it just depends. I think AJ Brown's kind of game script dependent now. So if he gets a good offense pushing him, he's going to be relevant. But if not,
I mean the over under is 43.5, so they think they're going to put up some points. Yeah, so that's good.
So I guess you're starting him. My only concern is, can you cash out on the name value and trade him for a running back now that you need if you lost James Conner or something like that?
Yeah,
something to consider.
So we got a good question here from James Tucker, which will need a little more context, I think. Trade my only first and Rome Odunze for Jamar Chase. Should be in the playoff hunt. Start 10, 1 QB.
Thank you. Okay, so James, thank you very much for adding that content, because that is the most important thing when we are talking dynasty in terms of how many starters there are and if it's 1 or 2 QB. Because if it was 2 QB, I'd probably be holding on to that first, because first rounds are way more valuable in Superflex. But because it's 1 QB, James, can you should be in the playoff hunt. So it's going to be a late first. So a late first and Rome for Jamar Chase.
Man, with the numbers that Chase is putting up, but it's Chase though. He's going to have him forever.
1 QB, I'm doing it. 1 QB, I'm doing it.
I think you have to, man. Especially if it's a late first.
Yes.
Chances of getting a higher caliber wide receiver that late are really low.
Exactly. But Odunze is the wide receiver 3 right now in redraft, and it looks like it's not going to stop with him with catching touchdowns. So
yeah,
man, that's close. That's very close. But I think anytime you can get the number 1 receiver in the league and
Yeah.
someone like that, you're projecting what Roma Dunze is going to keep doing, whereas Jamar Chase, we've seen 400-point fantasy seasons. So
Yeah.
as much as I hate it, and you're probably going to suffer in the short term because Roma Dunze probably is going to outscore Jamar Chase or put up the same numbers with Browning. But
Yeah.
I think if the opportunity is there, I'm doing it. What about you?
Yeah, Jamar Chase all day. I'm getting my hands on some Jamar
Jamar
Chase
Chase all day. I like
all
it.
day,
No
all day. I'm
question.
not even thinking about
Okay.
it. Jason Ortiz says I traded Jerry Judy, who I never started, Addison, who he never started, and Pollard for Javonte Williams, Ladd, Mike Evans. Wait, so you got
You traded
Javonte
Judy.
Williams, Ladd McConkey, Mike Evans for Judy and Addison? That's a win, dude.
It's a huge win.
Yeah, you won that.
Yeah. Lad is
Good.
Lad
Is
is a
that is
buy
are
low.
you trying to flex on us over here, bro?
I think he's flexing, but I
I like
think
that.
I think Lad is entering buy territory, and you can see with this trade, um, the Lad owner is probably getting a little dubious. So yeah,
Yeah.
Pollard doesn't look good. Javante looks like a top 10
He's
RB.
probably seeing all that Quentin Johnson run, and he's like, "Oh man, I need to." Lad's not doing anything. He
Yeah,
will. I think Lad's still their consistent guy there.
big win.
He also follows up and says, "Asks a start question." So start two: DJ Moore, Michael Pittman, Jalen Waddle, Jalen Warren.
Starting Warren. I'm starting Warren first. As much as I hate to say it, he's the bell cow in that offense. So
Yeah,
I'm starting Warren, and Jason, it depends on this next starter whether you need a floor. Look at your projected matchup. And if you're projected to win by a lot, you're going to want to play a floor. So Pittman is your floor player. So you start Pittman if you want a floor of 10 points. If you need more of a boom, Waddle might give you a boom with touchdowns, having that easier matchup against the Jets. So I would
yeah,
lean
that's
Warren.
a easy one.
I would lean Warren, and then I would kind of go between whether you need a floor or ceiling play at that wide receiver. What do you think?
Yeah. So playing against the Minnesota defense isn't ideal for Jalen Warren for me. But the good thing is he is a really good pass catching running back. Um, I think with the Bears facing the Raiders, I kind of like DJ Moore's matchup in that. I'm gonna go DJ Moore and Jalen Waddle against the crappy Jets.
All right.
All
I
right,
don't
so
think
we
you can go
got
wrong.
see
Start
here.
two.
So Javonte Swift and Myers.
Javante and Myers.
All right,
I'm out on.
and
I like Swift, but I'm kind of out on him. He hasn't been producing.
so start one. If no Fields this week, start Darnold, Geno, Aaron Rodgers, or Stafford. Unless you think someone else on waivers that might be better, maybe Dart. Oh, don't no. Do not fire up Dart. The Giants offense is horrible. I don't think Dart is. I mean, he's a dynasty stash right now. So you got Darnold. Uh, Darnold is playing Arizona, so
Tough
Darnold
matchup.
wouldn't be bad.
That's on a
Geno,
slot. That's the Thursday night game.
yeah. So that's Thursday. I don't hate Darnold. Geno, I'm not crazy about Geno, especially since they're going to be playing Chicago. But the good thing is they'll probably that could be a shootout too. They're expected to put up 48 and a half. So uh,
Who's the other Rams playing?
the Rams are playing. Where's my sheet here? The Rams are playing the Colts. So the
Ooh,
Colts defense has been pretty good.
man.
Um,
I'm going to say no to Rodgers. I'm going to say no to Fields. So, man, I kind of like
Stafford's got a
Geno.
lot of weapons though,
Kind of like
and
Stafford. I think Geno's kind of sneaky too. I know you're not a Geno guy, but Geno's been putting up points when they're playing from behind.
but that could be a sneaky shootout though. So Geno might be the play here.
I'm kind of leaning towards Geno.
Yeah. So for that one, we're going with Geno on that one, just because it could be a sneaky shootout between two like real iffy teams. So next one from Jason. Wow, Jason's hitting it, man. Thank you for all the questions. Will you trade Sticky Ricky for Sutton? I have both Knicks, so I want that stack. And if the owner says no, will you trade Knicks Ricky for a stack of Murray and Harrison? Harrison will be my wide receiver 4.
Hmm.
Huh.
Well, I prefer Sutton over Pearsall. And I think I prefer Sutton over Marv, but it's close. I think Sutton and Marv are pretty close to each other. Marv's going to be your boom bust guy. Same with Sutton. They're your boom bust score touchdown. So
Yeah. The
Knicks,
only
I
thing
think
with
Knicks,
Ricky that he says though is because like Ayuk, Jennings, when they come back. So
right. I
hmm,
don't think Ricky's consistent. I think Sutton is your wide receiver one in that offense. I don't mind
yeah,
trading Nix. He doesn't look good. I think I have a little more hope for Nix as the season goes on, so I'm not giving up on him. But I think he's replaceable right now if you're going to stream quarterbacks. So um, I don't know. I probably prefer Sutton over anybody on this list.
yeah. I'd like to get my hands on Harrison just because he actually looks decent this year. It's like Kyler acknowledge his existence. Um,
He's going to
but
figure
yeah,
it out
Sutton is the clear one here.
exactly. Whereas Harrison's the two.
Yeah.
So
But damn, man,
whenever
as your
I'm
wide receiver 4, that's pretty good.
I know. Whenever I'm leaning for a decision like this, I go off the wide receiver one or wide receiver two, what pedigree they have on their team, and that's my
Yeah.
decision.
Alrighty, James Tucker's back with another one. What would you trade for Gino in a dang, a lot of Gino out there? What would you trade for Gino in a super flex where you need a little more firepower? QBs are Herbert, Flacco, A. Rich, and Penix. Barely in playoff hunt, have limited picks and extra mid range. So this is a dynasty guy. All right, dynasty question. So limited picks and extra mid range wide receiver. Um, Penix is not looking great.
No.
Anthony Richardson, obviously, we know the situation there. Herbert's playing like a man possessed,
Hmm.
and Flacco, he's all right.
Flacco's
Um,
going to be on the bench sooner or later, so you need to make a move for Gino because I feel like Gino is going to be your wide receiver two throughout the year as the year goes on. I don't see Flacco being starting. Penix is scaring me. I mean,
hmm.
they might be going to
Gino
cut.
doesn't have any real competition behind him either.
Exactly. So what would you give up for Gino? I would try a third and one of those extra mid-range wide receivers. I would start there. What about you?
Um, yeah, I want to go get Gino if you can. I
Uh,
don't I don't have a lot of trust in Richardson, and like you said, Flacco is. Uh, I mean, those other QBs are gonna be knocking the door sometime soon.
James, here's what you're going to have to do though. When you're trading for a QB in Superflex, you're going to have to offer a QB in return. Most of the time, if someone's trading away a QB, they're not just going to trade away a QB for a pick and a position player. They're going to want a QB back.
Yeah.
So you're either going to have to go to this Geno owner and offer Penix, and then maybe you can get Geno plus for Penix, or you're going to have to throw Flacco in there and try and somehow convince him that Flacco is still the starter. So you might have to pair
Yeah.
Flacco with the mid-range wide receiver and a late pick. That'd be my advice.
Yeah, agreed. Totally agreed. Jacob Fanta asks, should I trade Javante Williams and Dak, who is his backup, for Rashi Rice? So Javante Williams and Dak for Rashi Rice. That's a tough one. Javante's been on fire, man. I'm 3-0, 12-man PPR, and my running backs are Saquon. Oh, God. Saquon, Jonathan Taylor, and Javante. That's a stacked running back room right there. Wide receivers are Tyreek, Egbuka, and DJ Moore.
Yes.
So, yes, you're good with Saquon and JT. So trade Javante because take advantage of this because I don't think this is going to last forever. Um,
Yes, this is an easy one for me.
yeah,
Shoot upside. You already have Saquon and JT. And then if you add Rashid, who we are
this would be
projecting,
an amazing roster, dude. If Dak's
this,
your backup, this
this is a
is
nice roster.
make
Get
this trade.
yes.
Yes. So yeah, you got consensus. Yes, go ahead and do this. Um, all right. So Louis Lerma says start Trey Benson, ETN, or Kamara this week. I also have Hall and Jordan Mason starting.
Damn, I
Man,
wish
Hall's
I had
been
this
pretty.
roster.
Yeah, dude. Hall's been pretty questionable. ETN's been good. Benson. All right. So we're just asking about Benson, ETN, and Kamara. So you
First of
got
all, Luis,
Benson at home, huh? Oh,
trade. If you have this many running backs on your bench, trade two of them for elite wide receiver so you don't have these start sit decisions. That's my go-to. Don't you think, Justin? Like,
you trying to put us out of a job over here?
I mean,
No, he's right. He's right. So consolidate and trade up.
yes.
So if you can go get, I would definitely would like to see what your wide receiver room looks like.
Yes.
Let us know, Lewis. Let us know in the comments what your wide receiver room looks like. That'll better help us. But in a vacuum, going Benson, Etienne, and Kamara. So all right. So here's the thing: you got Benson is at home against Seattle. You've got ETN is on the road at the 49ers, but they don't have Bosa. He's out for the year. So that's good. And then you've got Kamara, who is going to be traveling to Buffalo.
Hmm.
So Buffalo's a tough defense. Uh, man, I think I like Benson here. Slayton in the comments says Kamara, but I'm gonna go Benson. What do you think, Nick?
Are you for sure starting Hall over Benson, Etienne, and Kamara?
Well, the Jets are playing Miami, so I would
Yeah.
play Hall.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Miami's horrible.
Yeah. Damn. This. Yeah. My advice would be to try and trade two of these guys for a wide receiver elite, so you don't have to make this decision. Because honestly, Luis, Benson, Etienne, and Kamara, they are in the same ilk. So you can start Benson, and it all depends on fate for fantasy and football. And Etienne might have the better week because that's how the game plays out. Same with Kamara, he might be in a shootout. So it all depends on when I have players in the same ilk like this. Basically, just pick your poison and live with it. It's not that easy to do. That's why I hate having this many start sit decisions. Let's see. So James Tucker says, will Shador Sanders have his moment this year? Um, I think he will. I think, well, you know what? I'm not going to say he will. I think Dylan Gabriel is going to get the nod first. So when Flacco goes out, I think Dylan Gabriel is going to be the next man up. I don't think they want to start Shador, so I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. I don't think Shador Sanders is going to be starting. So that is my question. And that's pretty much all we got, guys. So we're going to wait for JR to hop back on the stream. I think he's having difficulties. There he is.
Yeah, sorry about that, everybody. Yeah, I guess the Wi-Fi dropped out for a second.
I was just answering the question. I answered it. He asked if Shador is going to have his moment. I said no. I don't think he's ready to play in the NFL, and I think Dylan Gabriel is going to get the nod before Shador.
Yeah. James. Well, okay. I don't want to miss James. Coke or Pepsi? James asked
Coach.
Coke or Pepsi. Coke. Yeah. Coke. It's Coke Zero for me, but yeah, Coke. Honestly, I don't care. Pepsi Zero, Coke Zero, whatever.
Like I like
So
I like Pepsi too though, but I like Jack and Coke. If I'm having whiskey, it's got to be Coke.
there you go. Lewis asked neighbors, Nico, BTJ, or Garrett Wilson.
I think he's referring to those are his wide receivers
All
also.
right.
I
Oh
think
yeah, yeah. That's still pretty good. So, damn, man, there can't be that many.
it's got to be a
There
short
can't be.
team.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's got to be like 8 teams maybe,
Yeah.
because
So
that's damn, that's
again,
loaded.
take take another one of these wide receivers, take Garrett Wilson or BTJ and pair him up with another two of your running backs and go see
Yeah,
if you can get an elite wide receiver. Go see if you can get Puka or someone in that ilk that's smashing that maybe that manager has less of a team dependent. Coke Lime.
I haven't tried that. I'm going to try that one out. So, man, all right. So I think this is a good place to shut her down for the night. Gosh, this has been such an interactive show. This has been awesome. Thank you, everybody. We
Likewise.
love this stuff. So this is what we're doing. If you're here, go ahead and subscribe to Kingmaker Sports on YouTube. You'll find us here every Tuesday night, 9:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Normally, Slayton joins us. He's got some other things going on, but he's been here in the comments with us the whole time. We miss you, brother. Get well soon. And we will be coming to you Sunday mornings, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, helping you with those last minute roster decisions. I know that's a real critical time. Hey, are they playing the game? Are they not playing the game? Are they doubtful? Game decision, all that stuff. That's where we help you get ready for that. So that's where you'll find us every Tuesday night, 9:30, every Sunday morning, 11 a.m. So for myself, Big Mick Lipper over here, we will see you on Sunday. And don't forget to subscribe to the Kingmaker Sports Channel on YouTube. And we will see you next time.
See ya.